Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone. Today we'll be talking about Cardano. Let's dive right into it. What is Cardano, and can you give us a synopsis of the project, Boris?
Sure. So Cardano is a layer one blockchain, and their goal really is to become the internet of blockchains, but they are considered the Ethereum killer. They are ongoing development, like most projects. They're still developing their whole blockchain and what it can do and improving it, etc., etc. It's being run by the Cardano Foundation and the IOHK Research Institute. Now, from the get-go, they were a proof of stake versus Ethereum, who was proof of work, then changed to proof of stake. And they want to be more scalable than Ethereum. Cardano is the actual blockchain, and Ada is the coin that powers the Cardano network. And just for the history, it's named after Ada Lovelace, and he was a 19th century mathematician that was considered to be pretty much the first computer programmer. The tokens is being used to pay transaction fees on the platform and also given out to validators to be rewarded to be running the proof of stake system.
Thank you for that information, Boris. Can we now talk about the history and performance of the coin?
Sure. So in the history, really, Bitcoin was considered crypto 1.0, basically digital gold. Ethereum was considered to be crypto 2.0, where you could do more than just store value. And then Cardano was launched in 2017. It's considered to be the crypto 3.0, where you're starting to do a lot more things like the smart contracts and a lot of other things that can be done with crypto. It's been created by Charles Hoskinson. And Charles was actually a co-founder of Ethereum, but he got into a dispute with the other co-founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, in 2014, and he left the project because they were having a debate on whether Ethereum should be commercialized or not. So he went and created what he thought would be a better project than Ethereum, doing the things that he couldn't do with Ethereum. Cardano can be staked, and we'll go a little bit over that. It's super easy to buy. It's available on pretty much all the major exchanges because it is in the top 15 largest cryptocurrencies. And also, it's very easy to store pretty much all wallets except, Cardano, Ada to be more exact. They have two official wallets, but basically Trust or Exodus, all the others can be used as well. And the cool thing is you can develop on their blockchain even if you don't use the ADA token. You don't necessarily have to use it. On the DeFi, SundaeSwap is their big decentralized exchange. And then they have a lending protocol called MELD. Now, some of the advantages of Cardano, they are much more, friendly to the environment. Charles Hoskinson claimed back in 2021 during an interview with Forbes that it's 1.6 million times more energy efficient than Bitcoin. Also, from the get-go, it was faster on the transactions, 250 transactions per second versus 4.6 for Bitcoin, and about 15 to 45 transactions per second for Ethereum 1.0. Now, Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to scale up to 100,000 transactions per second. So suddenly Ethereum would become faster than Cardano, but Cardano is upgrading as well. And their goal eventually is to reach 1 million, transactions per second. I think that whole race about transactions per second, it's becoming almost like everybody is like, oh yeah, 100,000, a million, this, that. At some point, it doesn't matter because pretty much all the big blockchains will be able to handle pretty much any volume of transactions. Also, they do a peer-reviewed network. The teams, they work with a lot of peer reviews, people reviewing the whole development of Cardano. And really what you have is a blockchain that is super solid. Now, it has never gone down for 5 years. And then what happened just this past Sunday? Boom. First time ever that something happens. But it's not as bad as some people would make you believe. Because some people reported like, oh yeah, 60% of their nodes went out and it was terrible, that they never went down, now they're down. They're like Solana, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you look at all the articles, yes, they had an outage of about 60% of their nodes. But what's really good is the block production never stopped. They kept on going. Second of all, there were still about 45% of the nodes that were still available, so transactions were still going. And the most amazing thing was how resilient and how fast the whole Cardano network came back. Those nodes came back within minutes after going out. Just minutes after going out, they were all back online. In comparison, Solana, who's had several outages, I like Solana, but they had, unfortunately, several outages. One of the latest one that happened lasted for 7 hours. It took 7 hours to come back online. So it's very different, and all of them went out. It's like the whole network was down. Here, Cardano was never fully down. It's just about half of their nodes went out and back within a few minutes. Now, some of the disadvantages of Cardano is it's competing in what's becoming a very crowded area. So it's going to be hard to stand out against the others. The other problem is the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade is taking away some of the advantages that Cardano had. I mean, obviously, when Ethereum was only 45 TPS transactions per second versus 250 for Cardano. Cardano had a big advantage, but now that they're all rising to high numbers, that advantage is going away. So we'll see, if they can do well. I mean, they're a solid blockchain. They've proven it for a while now. And they have a very good project. They have a lot of stuff being developed on Cardano. But once again, it's a crowded space with Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, all those guys. They're all in competition. So that's the only downside of Cardano. On the all-time high, we were sitting at slightly above $3 back in September 2021. The lowest price was 1.9 cents back in March 2020. So they currently have a market cap of about $12 billion, so pretty big. They have a total and max supply of 45 billion coins. And currently in circulation, we have 35 billion coins in circulations. They have also lots of people staking their coins, but they're not locked. We'll see a little bit the mechanism on staking ADA. But lots of people are staking their ADA.
Thank you for that information, Boris. Can we now kind of change gears and talk about what's new and what is upcoming in the future roadmap for them?
Yeah, so as you know, Genesis filed for bankruptcy. Genesis owned GBTC, but they also own CoinDesk, and therefore they are selling immediately. They're putting CoinDesk on the market to get some money. And the asking price is $200 million, which Huskinson said, I'm interested. So he confirmed that he is interested in buying CoinDesk, but he said it's a bit pricey because he said like, hey, if I put in $5 to $10 million, I can probably create my own CoinDesk. But also have to recognize that, CoinDesk is one of the leader in the news out there. So I guess he's going to look at the books to see if it makes sense financially. And also what he wants to change is doing more fact checking, and he wants, to have a something a little bit better, because he's been attacked actually sometimes, or Cardano has been attacked on some of the media, and they've not always been fair to Charles and to Cardano. So he doesn't want to dictate to the journalists what they should say, but also he wants to make sure they, one, fact-checked everything, and second of all, that they're a little bit more fair to Cardano. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's going to take a little while to look at the books, and there'll probably be different offers and people putting in different bids. So we'll see who will eventually purchase CoinDesk. Also, they are, as you know, another thing that's important to know is Cardano is very big in Africa. When you look at the map of the world, some of the projects, they fight more on the US side, some other, they're more on the European side, some are more Asian. And Cardano, for some reason, has been doing a lot of projects in around Africa. Now, there is a new project. This one is not in Africa, but it's to debut, Cardano-based electric vehicles in Sri Lanka. And it's a company called e-Tuk-Tuk. Tuk-Tuk, if you don't know what it is, a Tuk-Tuk is kind of a little taxi. If you've seen Octopussy with, the James Bond movie, there's a famous chase with a little Tuk-Tuk where they go through through Mumbai in a Tuk-Tuk. So it's a little taxi that has one wheel at the front, two wheels at the back. And there are lots of those throughout Sri Lanka as well as India. And there are currently 1.2 million regular tuk-tuk on the roads in Sri Lanka. And the problem is it's like any little vehicle like that, it creates a lot of pollutions. So having e-tuk-tuk, electric vehicle tuk-tuk, could be something very very interesting for pollution, global warming, everything. It's definitely a good initiative, but it's mainly to reduce the air pollution. That's probably the biggest problem they have, and that's true in many countries in Asia, like China and things like that. In India, they have lots of pollution because of their very, very large population. So that's a project that Cardano is getting involved in, and those are very good initiatives to try to promote different real world projects, not just be like, we're just a blockchain and that's it. So they are working on this, and they're financing part of the project. The government is also stepping in, but and they're doing a lot of things like that in different countries. Another thing that they announced is there's an upgrade that's coming up in February, which will introduce some new built-in functions to the Plutus smart contract. And this is what they're trying to do with this upgrade, is basically make it easier for developers to build cross-chains applications. So that's, another cool thing. The other thing they're doing is the deployment of the first ever smart contract written in Eopsin, which is innovative Pythonic programming language. So allows developers to write 100% valid Python programs, leveraging the existing tool stack for Python, which is very, very large. So whenever you are able to use a more regular language that a lot more programmers can speak, you can have mass adoption. The other thing that that we're seeing is that the price has risen quite a bit. If we look, obviously the market has really gone up lately, but you can see that in the past 30 days, the coin has gone up by 44.5%. So that's pretty good, if you compare, let's say, with Bitcoin, who's been up 35%, so 10% less. So having Cardano right now, you are making 10% more return than if you were in Bitcoin.
Thank you, Boris. I appreciate that information. What about staking? Can you stake the coin, and do you have any suggestions on where should we be doing that? I know exchanges aren't the safest space right now, so do you have any suggestions?
Yes, really, you can stake Cardano pretty much everywhere. Trust Wallet, Exodus, Atomic. They have their own. URI is the wallet, one of the wallets from Cardano. But really, you can stake them everywhere. I would never stake them on a centralized exchange because, first of all, they don't pay you as much. I think Binance gives you, it's locked for 30 days. Of course, it's on centralized exchange, which is not good, and they only pay you 2.7%. You can get around 4 to 5% on pretty much all wallets, and they pay you regularly. Every few days, 4 or 5 days, you get your rewards. The minimum staking is usually 10 ADA, which really is nothing. That's we're talking about a few dollars. There's no lockup period. Now, the one thing to know is that usually it takes about 21 days before when you stake the first time. There are no rewards for the first 21 days, and that's the thing to remember. There are thousands of pools, so it's lots of things to choose from. There's no slashing, and all you have to do in most of them, you deposit the money. You let's say you add onto your wallet, and on some of them you have to activate the staking. On some of them they activate automatically. You have to double check that. But once it gets started, very easy. And the cool thing is you can be unlocked at any time. So if, for instance, there is a big price movement on Cardano and you want to remove some of them to sell them, to take some profit or whatever, it's very liquid. It can be removed immediately and be sent to an exchange or exchange from your wallet, using a DEX, for instance. So that's what I like about Cardano. It's super user-friendly and nothing is ever locked. That's the downside on some of the other projects where it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks to unlock the coins. So if there is a lot of price movement, you cannot do anything about it, or by the time you unlock, it might be too late. You don't have that problem with Cardano.
Awesome. Thank you for that information, Boris. Can we now talk about the price prediction and where you see the coin in the future?
Yeah. So like we said, the current price of Cardano is exactly at 37 cents currently. And by 2024, we could reach around the 90 cents mark. We could be by 2026 around $1.58. We could be by 2028 around $3, which would be back basically to its all-time high. And then by 2030, we could easily be around $7. Now, those figures are very conservative. I think those prices most likely are going to happen no matter what. The time frame might be what's going to be different, depending on some of the recovery and how fast things happen. We could see $7 on the next bull run, by 25, 26. That's also very possible. But to be conservative, but still at 37 cents, and you're talking about around $7, you're talking easily a 20 plus X from here. So a pretty good return. The only downside, be very mindful of the competition, like we said earlier in this video, because there are lots of competition for layer ones, and who's going to be the one who's going to be shining more than the other is very hard to know. So that's why it's always good personally, and of course this is not a financial advice, but me personally, what I do is I bet on some of the big layer ones, but I tend to bet equally because I don't know which one is going to do better than the other.
Thank you, Boris. I appreciate that. From my side, that's all the questions I have for today. I did want to add, we just released a website. Please go to kryptonitetv.com. Check it out. There's a bunch of crypto information there, along with our other social media. But take a look. There's some information there for you if you need some tools, some ideas on what decentralized exchanges to use, staking, etc. But from my side, that's all I have, Boris. Please feel free to add anything else.
That's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Colton. We all look forward to see you on the next Kryptonite video. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.